Today I am reviewing my first Ultrasaber. This is the Scorpion. This Scorpion is equipped with the Emerald and Obsidian V4 drivers. I'll talk about those a little bit later on, but right now, let's talk about this hilt. One of the first things you'll notice is this thing is quite large. I have a ruler here for a little bit of scale. The hilt itself, from the base of the pommel going to the top of the emitter, is 14.5 inches. And then from the top of the emitter to the top of the claw is an additional 5 inches. Meaning this hilt comes in at a whopping 19.5 inches. It's definitely a really comfortable two-handed saber. You got a couple little choke points. You got one right here. It's a little high up for my taste, so right around here is a real comfortable spot. Then you got plenty of room underneath here for your other hand. Another really cool thing about this saber is the MHS, or modular hilt system, which allows you to swap out different parts of different hilts. So right here we have the pommel, which, as you can see, has these very cool little pointed metal bits here. This is completely removable, and you can add it on to different sabers. Also, the emitter is removable, with a little caveat. If you order your Scorpion with the claw, you have to remove the claw before you can remove this emitter. It's actually not that difficult to remove the claw. I'm going to try to get a nice shot of the hex screws. There's one there, and the other one's a little higher up. There we go. If you remove both of those hex screws, the claw will come right off, and then you can unscrew this emitter and swap it out with just about any other, or put this emitter on a different saber. One other thing though, if you put a different emitter on this hilt, I doubt that claw is going to fit back on, because as you can see, it is shaped perfectly for this emitter. This emitter was actually really cool. It's flanged and also has all these nice windows going around. I like this emitter quite a bit. And also this, I think I like even more, the windows down here underneath the emitter as part of the saber itself, or the hilt itself. You also have a shroud on this emitter, so you can kind of see the pattern underneath. You can see it right here around the AV switch. You can also see it here in these windows that go to the shroud. There and there. This also comes installed with a CoverTech wheel. The shroud is also removable, although that requires a little more work, and I have not attempted that. I have one issue with this hilt, and that is the emitter, and then this portion here, the top portion of the hilt, are a little long for a blade plug. I actually have a blade plug installed right in here, but this is still open. If you wanted to hold the blade plug in place, you tighten it with these screws. It also holds the blade in place if you're using that. I'll put one in a minute. But if you have your blade plug tightened in here, this window is completely open. It's not being protected in any way. And so access to the LED, which is down this way, is completely open. So if you loosen these hex screws, to drop the blade plug down low enough to protect the LED, there we go, you can't actually fix it into place. So if I were to tighten these hex screws down again, there's still a bit of wiggle room for that blade plug, which is why I have a second blade plug. So now if you put both of those together, you can tighten it down. There we go. And now you've got a blade plug in there and another one on top of it. So you're protecting your LED, and you've also got it flush with the top of the emitter. Not that big of a deal, and when you consider that's my one gripe with it, that's pretty good. Also here, as I'm unscrewing this, you can get a good look at the design on the back side of the claw. Definitely just a nice little flare, a little extra flare to go with it. I'm going to let these blade plugs just out here. And to me, this hilt definitely has a Sith feel to it, so doubt you'd be surprised that it's set to blazing red. So let me ignite this real quick. The sound that's active right now is Black Star, which is one of the many sound fonts that come with your Obsidian sound card. I'm going to start that up right now. I'm going to try to minimize my talking because I'm not sure how well it'll come out while that's going. Tighten these down and do a few actions here. Get some sound effects going. One of the cool features with the Emerald sound, or I'm sorry, not Emerald sound, Emerald card is that it allows you to change your blade's color. It's pulsing. Right now it's a blazing red that pulses to an orange. So if it seems like it's changing colors slightly, it's because it is. And it might be a little difficult to actually get the correct colors. Oh well. Alright, so another cool feature with the Emerald card is that you can adjust the speed and duration of the pulse that it's doing right now, and also the flash on clash. If you turn this off. Alright. So what the Emerald card allows you to do is, aside from adjusting the color of your lightsaber on the fly, you can also adjust the speed and duration of your pulses. So you can change how fast or how long it stays on one color, how long it stays on the second color, and how long to transition between color A and color B, and how long to transition between color B and color A. And then the other cool thing is that you can have Flash on Clash without Emerald, but if you have Flash on Clash with Emerald, you can adjust how many times your lightsaber flashes on Clash, and you can also adjust the speed at which it flashes on Clash, which gives you a lot of really cool options in terms of the effects that you're going for. So far, I've really loved the Emerald driver and the Obsidian driver. One cool thing, if you can, when you're getting an Ultrasaber, is if you are thinking about getting others in the future, making sure you get one with Emerald is a good idea, so that you can at least see the blade colors in person, because I know all these videos don't really do a lot of the blade colors justice. So I've really liked the idea of, oh, well, if I'm considering getting another Ultrasaber, I just got to plug this into my computer and load up the Ultrasaber launcher, change around the colors to see what I want for my main saber color, Flash on Clash option, and just kind of mess around with those and see what I like. And then once I found something I really like, when I order my next Ultrasaber, yeah, that's what I'm going to use. The Obsidian sound card is amazing. So I have V4 in this one, and basically any Ultrasaber I'm going to get in the future is probably going to have the V4 sound card. This thing is is great. It allows you to load up multiple sound or saber fonts into your lightsaber at once so that you can change them out really rapidly. So I can do that right now. You normally ignite your saber just by pressing the button, so I'm going to do that right now. And you hold it down to turn the saber off. With Obsidian V4 sound, if you hold the AV switch down, you'll go into a menu which switches between all of your options. Black Star. So that's the one that I'm currently using, which is Black Star. And if I press this, the AV switch is going to switch between Black Star and the next saber font. The Old Republic Echoes of Tython. Then if I press again, it's going to go to my silent font. And then I'm going to go to my next one. I've purchased several fonts if it's not obvious. The Old Republic Crucible. And we're back to Black Star. So I have 5 different fonts on here right now. The number of fonts you have is somewhat dependent on the size of the files you're using for each sound font. I was able to calculate how much space I had for each one, determine which ones I really wanted on there, and then, you know, made sure I could find the other ones that would fit and just load those Cancel. Up. Whoop! Guess I took too long. I'm going to turn this off. There we go. Alright, so that is my review of the Scorpion, the Emerald driver, and the Obsidian V4 sound driver.